Today, we are going to see if the C4 or C5 is the better Corvette. We're going to test drive these cars, go over the pros and cons, and I want you guys to leave a comment down below which you guys prefer, the C4 Corvette or the C5, because they are very, very huge differences between the two. But let's start off with the appearances. Now, the C4, they made this body style from 1984 to 1996. That is a 12-year run on the C4. It's actually one of the longest running productions out of all the Corvettes, with very, very, very little changes in between all the years. That is a big downside to this car, because one, there's so many of them out there, kind of a dime a dozen, but at least in the C3s, they changed the looks a little bit over the years. These ones are very, very similar, but they're still very iconic. Now, the C5 is from 1998 to 2004. Obviously, world of a design change-up. It's a lot more roundy, it's a lot more bubbly kind of look to it. Interior's been changed out, all the electronics, engine, transmission, it's a whole different car. But the C4 was also a game changer of its own. Now, we're going to take these cars around the block, we're going to get a drive, we're going to see how they feel different, ride different. But before we get into that, make sure to hit that subscribe button, guys. Our channel is growing quick. We post videos every week, reviews, sales, and kind of take you guys along what it's like running a classic car dealership, because we are a classic car dealership. All these cars are for sale, and we buy cars. So if you have one for sale, let us know. But let's jump into the C4 and see how it runs. Now, the biggest downside to the interior on this car, especially if you're older or got some back issues, is you got this hump. Everybody hates this hump. You got to get over this edge and then fall down into the seat. It's okay getting in, but getting out is a little bit more tricky. Now, this is going to be kind of a weirder C4 to show you guys the difference between C4 and C5. Because if you can't hear already, this one has a little bit of performance stuff. Has a performance tune, different exhaust. It's obviously standard transmission, so it's going to be a lot funner to drive than your typical C4. But that being said, just kind of feel like, look at the dash from your point of view. You're like in a cockpit, okay? It's like you're a pilot. You look right here. You got all these gauges, digital dash, analog. I mean, it's a really cool set. It's a vibe. The thing about a C4 Corvette, it is a vibe. And I'm going to have to scoot the seat all the way forward because it's standard shift. Sounds beautiful, this car. But again, a stock one won't sound like this. So kind of take that with a grain of salt. Alright. So immediately off the bat, you can tell the C4 is a little more rugged. You feel all the bumps a lot more. Like just right there, you hit a bump, boom, boom. It's not bad, like a C3, but it is still kind of it's like riding a train, really. But the C4 was a game changer from going from the C3 generation to this generation. I mean, this car was the first car to ever break 1G in a turn in 1984. First car ever. The technology jump from a 1982 to a 1984, 1985 Corvette, monumental, huge game changer. Any movies you saw back in the 80s and 90s, they all drove Corvettes, the cool guy in high school. Now, they made this car for so long that's why they're a dime a dozen, and with very little changes. This, you know, if somebody sent me a 1986, 1987 model compared to this, I could pretty much tell that that's an 80s model. But to the naked eye, they look identical, and they are very, very close. So that's why they're not worth that much. The C4 is a great Corvette for the money if you're on a budget, and that's what they're good for. They're good budget Corvettes. Something you can pick up for around, you know, 7 to 15 grand, depending on the miles and package and that sort of stuff. And you get a lot of fun for the money. They're not the fastest ones either. I mean, this one's got a whole bunch of performance stuff done to it. It is not the fastest one by any means. The brakes work good on this because they've been serviced and changed out, but typically, if you've owned a C4 or known anybody with a C4, you know the brakes are hard on these cars, and they run warm. They run very, very warm. So you always got to change out the thermostats and the fan settings on them. So that is the downside to the C4, but let's take a look around it and take a look at the engine, because the engines are completely different in this car. Okay, let's get the last look at the C4. Now this one looks a little bit different because it's lowered on 01 wheels. Also sounds different because it's got a custom exhaust, but that goes to show you what you can do to these cars. Now the biggest inconvenience, in my opinion, is the stupid target top compared to a target top on that one, which obviously that's convertible, but to take this top off, you have to get a little Allen wrench. Unscrew that, unscrew this, same on the other side. And the problem is you don't know when it's done unscrewing, you don't know when it's done screwing, could be stripped. It takes a lot of time to undo the top on those cars, whereas those ones, it's just a couple little levers and you're good to go. But the big difference is the engine. So here's an LT1 V8. It's got about 300 horsepower. The C5 has the LS1. Now these come with an OptiSpark, which is a nightmare to change out, and it's not a very performance-driven engine. It was when it came out, of course, brand new, but in today's standards, it's kind of a dog. It's kind of a dog. Not really much stuff you can do to it. But for the money, again, great cars, and it's more of a vibe. It's like if you want to feel like you're in the 80s and 90s, this is the car you drive. It's boxy, it's sharp, it's clean, for not a lot of money. But let's jump into one of my favorite Corvettes, the C5. Now we jump into the C5 generation. Huge body change design, a lot more roundy and bubblish like I said earlier, but a lot more comfort features. The seats are easier to sit in. There's no more hump, it's just super level, actually below the seat in most cases. So a lot easier to get in and out of. A lot wider stance, suspension is different, engine's different, transmission's different. But let's hop in this car and take this one around the block. So you can see, obviously, so much easier to get in and out of. That's why a lot of you guys and people in general like to buy these cars, because it's so much easier to get in and out. But you can tell right off the bat, interior is completely changed up. I mean, a lot more buttons, a lot more features. Dash is all analog gauges now. You still got a digital for the odometer and some features that the car may want you to know. Dash is different. You even got a handle here. It's been completely redesigned for a more comfort-driven purpose. It's a lot more comfortable car. But let's take this one around the block and see if you guys can see for yourselves. Now, immediately you can tell, I mean, I'm telling you guys, the C4 to C5 is a night and day difference between the two cars. Like, just from that little distance, you can tell it's a whole nother car. Now it's a lot more smooth. It handles the bumps so much better. Like right there, where we drove earlier, it's like boom, boom in the C4. That one, you feel it, but you know, it takes it a lot easier. Now, I will tell you this. If you want to feel like you're going fast, you buy a C4. If you want to go fast, you buy a C5. Now, how does that make sense, Bobby? Well, in the C4, if you're going 60 miles an hour, it feels like you're going 100. Or if you're going 100 miles an hour in this, it feels like you're going 60. They just handle different. They feel different. And that's, I hope this video tries to show you guys that. And not saying the C4 is a bad car by any means. It is a great car for the money. But I think the best bang for the buck car is the C5 Corvette. Because these ones will sell anywhere from low teens, usually about 15 to 20 grand is what these cars sell for. For like this one's got 29,000 miles, it's right around that $21,000 mark. Now both cars have the pop-up headlights. So you still get that feature in between both of them. A lot of people don't like it because they get that winky eye. The part's like 60 bucks to change out, so it's not a big deal when they go out. But let's get on this one. So this one will throw you back. So this one we've already gone well faster than we've gone in the C4, but it does not feel like we've gone that fast. And this one got there quicker, sooner, and smoother. That's why it feels like you're going slower, because it's going smoother. But let's take a walk around this car, check out the LS1 engine, which is a revolutionary engine and mechanics' favorite, because I'll tell you why here in a second. Keep watching. So the biggest complaint I have with the C5 Corvette is this right here. The stupid cup holder. You see how there's liquid right here? We just put gas in it. My dad bought a coffee. This cup holder is not designed to hold anything. It's the most stupid invention Corvette's ever done. You put a drink in there, it's gonna splash around, fly around anywhere. If you have a C5 Corvette, comment down below and tell the people how many drinks you've spilt using that thing. So this is a bone stock C5. They are not very loud. They're actually very, very quiet. And the other thing too, if you're still watching this far, if you're a bigger person, this is so much easier to fit in than this car. The C5 and C6 platform are probably the most roomiest out of all the cars, whether you're tall or round. You'd want to go for one of these, especially over that one right there. But yes, here's the final look around. But here's the biggest thing on the C5 Corvette is the LS1 V8 engine. It's 345 horsepower, but it's a bulletproof engine. Every mechanic can work on them. You can do so many performance upgrades to these cars, but they're already fast enough just the way it is, so you don't need to worry about it. And if you service these things, take care of them. I've sold these cars with over 250, 260,000 miles on this original engine. And when you blow it up, they're not too costly to replace because they're everywhere. So the LS1 is what takes the cake on that stuff. Now, who should buy one of these cars? Oh, and if this was a coupe like that one, the hatch would have more room in it as well. So this is definitely a lot more roomy than a C4 Corvette. But which car should you buy? Depends on your situation. If you want a daily car, this one over the C4 for sure. If you want a toy and you're on a budget, C4 over C5. You get a lot of car for the money that you're buying. And if you're buying a toy, you may not want to spend $20,000 on it. You may want to spend, $10, $11, $12,000 on something. That's the way you want to go on that car. If you're younger and just want that kind of aura, you want an aura farm, I really think that C4 is the way to go. I don't think, even though I like the C5, I think it probably looks better, certainly drives better and faster. This is just aura farming right there. I mean, you got some vibes going. It's just like straight 80s and 90s. And if that's your style, I'd go with the C4, especially when you're younger, because you don't have to worry about this little hump that you get in and out of. You don't really care that it drives a little rougher. It doesn't matter if it's got 300, 345 horsepower. You don't care, man. C4 is the way to go. If you're a little bit older, C5 by far. If you're overweight, you should be working out, doing some push-ups and crunches, but you haven't yet, you're gonna want to buy this car. Unless you want some motivation, buy you a C4, and then you're like, oh, I can't fit in it. Well, gives you some motivation to work out, buy you the C4. But all in all, if you're looking for a Corvette, you've obviously already made the correct choice on which car you're lined up for, whether it's the C3, C4, C5, C6, C8. Skip the C7 because I'd much rather have all the other ones before the C7, but if you like a C7, that's cool too. But yeah, that's my choices on the C4s. The C4, you can still drive daily. You can drive that out of town. It's just like I said, they're a lot more uncomfortable. I would choose this car every other day of the week. But let me know what you guys think down below. Was I spot on with these cars? If I was wrong, leave a comment down below. But if I was right, also let me know your experiences, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. We post videos every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Thank you guys so much. All these cars are for sale. Go to my website, go check them out, and if you have a car for sale, let us know.